Da, da, da.
Talking
pictures.
Talking pictures. This piece is Three Tahitians, features three figures. There is a male in the middle and two females either side. And I absolutely love it. I love colour and I love colour theory. My own paintings are very heavily based on colour theory, and I think all the work I like is always heavily based on colour theory. So we have this incredible composition on this piece. You've got the main colours are the green and red. So on the colour wheel, green and red are opposite each other. And when you use colours that are opposite each other, it makes each colour look as strong as possible. So if you want a soft sort of vibe, you use colours that are near each other. And if you want a contrast and vibrancy, you use colours that are opposite each other. So here he's used a lot of green. There's a green in the background in the lower part of the painting. The figure's skin is a brownish yellow that has green undertones. And then you've got this lime green in the top corner. Do you know what I love most about this painting is how your eyes dart across it. So much movement and so many pulls. Your eyes are just pulled constantly around the painting. So you have the green in the bottom. The green washes from the left, links over to the right at the flowers. There's a little fleck of the green. And then you have this lime green at the top. And that links down to the fruit in the left lady's hand. You notice there's a scatter of kind of green leaves in her hair. The green undertones kind of wash over the whole piece. And that pulls you around in sort of like a circle around the painting. And then you have, opposite that, you have the red. So there's this scarlet, really, really strong red on the left. And then that is bookmarked by the subtle red that's in the flowers on the right. And then sort of joining the two, there's the pink in the sky, and it's like a ribbon that flushes through the sky, and that's a very purplish pink, so it's not the same sort of scarlet orange pink or scarlet orange red that's in the foreground. And then the two women, they have their red lips, and that's quite a scarlet kind of red but sort of deeper. And that's like a sort of like an upside down U shape on the painting. So it's like you've got this red and then you've got this green around it. And then you have the yellow. So the yellow is within the green. So green is made from blue and yellow. So you have this yellow that sort of sits quite nicely with the green. And it's kind of soft and it kind of has little flecks of like red and pink in it. And it just feels like a sunset sky. On the right of the guy in the middle, his head, because he's kind of looking down to the left when he's thinking, and that bit of yellow that comes out of his head, it just suggests like he's looking towards the girl on the left, but maybe he's thinking about the girl on the right. And she's kind of looking at him, and he's kind of looking down and to the distance. And she's looking at the girl on the left is looking at us. So it's like this constant chain of movement that goes from like left to right, up, down, constantly throughout the painting. You've got this sweep of her dress that kind of comes down on the left, the red that comes down, and then it kind of meets the white wrap that she has diagonally. And that kind of follows her gaze almost. You know, her face kind of comes down. There's a lot of diagonals. There's so much going on. And then I mentioned that the red dress was kind of orange toned. So to really make that pop, the opposite orange on the colour wheel, this is very boring, but I absolutely love it and it's so exciting, is this blue that's at the bottom, which is the guy's, whatever he's wearing. So it's this really strong blue, and that kind of anchors the whole piece. The first person you look at is the girl on the left, and then you notice, because the flow of the pink, you notice the girl on the right, and then because of where she's looking, you notice the guy, and he's really like a non-subject in this piece, but he's kind of like the anchor, and that blue really like anchors all those colours together. and then you have that shadow on his spine that leads up to his hairline, and there's that bluish tone in his hairline, and then again you're thrown because his eyes are looking sort of down, like what's hidden down there that's so important. He's kind of looking down, and we're wondering like what is down there, and there's a sort of a balance, like perhaps he is, I guess at the time men would have been more powerful or whatever, I don't really know, but it would be plausible, and maybe because he's a male painter, that he would have made a painting that's sort of about male experience. So you have this male in the centre who is a non-subject, but maybe he's kind of like the viewer, so he's sort of like us. And then he's kind of torn, like he's looking left, but that bit of yellow suggests he's thinking right. And you have this idea of this woman dressed in red, which is like a powerful kind of sensual colour, very strong and alluring, like, your attention is drawn to her. She wants you to look at her. She's wearing red. And she's looking at us, which is like so bold, and she has flowers in her hair, and she's carrying fruit, and it sort of has that Eve vibe about it, like the Garden of Eden, like she's wearing clothes, but they're sort of her shoulders out, so there's like an element of nudity. And then she has this fruit which she hasn't bitten, so it's like she's innocent, but there's a suggestion of more. There's a suggestion that she's not innocent, that's something corrupting, like Eve. So he's kind of considering left. He's considering that the sensual, inviting female, strong female, who is aware of us and aware of herself, and she's willing to bite that fruit. He's looking that way, but then he's thinking right, and she is more pure. She kind of comes across very demure, like she's covering herself, she's holding flowers, and the flowers are, I don't know about the culture in Tahiti, but certainly in the UK there's sort of like a wedding bouquet vibe about her. She's wearing white, which is like purity and wedding clothes. She's covering herself. Her eyes are soft, but she is looking at him, so there is an element of availability, of interest, of, she's like, the one you'd marry, she's the sensible choice, and his mind is flowing towards her, but he's perhaps tempted by the girl on his left. And he's very small and timid and weak looking. He doesn't look strong. He looks torn, and his arms are pulled in, like he's unsure, and he's protecting his organs. He's not strong. He's not powerful. The women beside him are powerful in different ways. And whether or not it's about his choice about who he wants, if that's what the painting's about, I think it's also, in a way, they're choosing as well. Like the girl on the right is looking at him. Maybe she's not available. Maybe she's checking him out to see if she actually wants to go there. And the girl on the left, maybe she's looking at us because she's already looked at him and she's not interested. And maybe he's small because he's been rejected. But yeah, there's so much going on, and even if those figures weren't there and they were just like abstract shapes, just as an image, the shapes work so well. Like if you blur your eyes, there's just like these horizontals, like really dramatic sunset. The light on the girl on the right is like collarbone. Is she wearing earrings? I don't know, like there's a flash of yellow. It's just pure movement and just the most incredible composition. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Talking pictures.